You know, I'm a really big fan of music. So much so, in fact, at one point I tried to do a video blog talking about music taste. But that is almost impossible to do on YouTube without getting WMG'd at one point or another. So I thought, what's the next best thing to talk about if I want to talk about music? Video game music. It's all over the internet. And there's probably a good chance it's not going to get taken down, hopefully. So I started thinking, what is my favorite type of video game music? And I was going through all the soundtracks and I realized I am a really, really big fan of the Sonic music. So much so, in fact, that I wanted to do a list. But I don't think a top 5 is enough. A top 10 isn't enough. Heck, a top 50 isn't enough. I know my Sonic music, and there's just so much music I just can't leave out and not mention. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be spending the next couple of weeks, or however long it takes, to list my 100 favorite Sonic songs. You might be wondering, what credentials do I have as a Sonic fan?
For starters, yes, I did own a Sega Genesis and play the original Sonic games. I still have my Genesis along with a few of those games, although it does not get much use thanks to me buying Sonic Mega Collection. But my first Sonic-related game that I played was actually Tales in the Music Maker on the Pico computer. I wonder how many people even know what a Pico computer is. That might explain why Tails is my favorite character, too. I did grow up watching both Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and the Sat AM series. To be honest, as a kid, I preferred the wackier show. I preferred Adventures. Maybe because I was easily entertained as a kid. I did like the Sat AM show too, but the storylines I guess got too confusing. I did watch Sonic X as well. Well, the first season anyway. I woke up to watch it early on Saturday mornings and liked it enough, but got tired of waking up early, so I only watched the first season, so I'm not sure what to make of characters that came later, like Cosmo. And for the record, I am glad I did not watch Sonic Underground. Probably the nerdiest thing about my Sonic fandom is that I read the comics. A lot of the comics.
Which probably explains why my favorite villain is Knack the Weasel, who I still insist to call Fang the Sniper. Sounds cooler.
It's kind of weird that I love the Archie comics series so much, considering that I wasn't a huge fan of the Sat AM lore, and yet that's clearly what it's based on. And no, I have not read the Fleetway comics, so no comment on that. I only own one shirt with Sonic on it, but I do own a Tails plush that I won at the Miami-Dade County Fair.
I know you're probably thinking, Felipe, you're a 22-year-old man. Why do you have plushies? For the record, I only have 3. Tails, this guy who I never named but I've had since I was basically born, and this Stitch that was a birthday gift because I like Stitch.
By the way, check out my wall. In high school, I started cutting up magazines and made a collage on my wall using all my various video game magazines. And guess who is the most prominently featured person on there? So, is Sonic my favorite game series? Well, no. The Tekken series has a special place in my heart since I have a lot of memories attached to it.
While the Tekken games were my favorite games, the Sonic games were at least my favorite platforming, adventure, just fun games to play. That is, until I met my friends Ratchet and Sly.
I still enjoyed the series even when it transitioned into 3D. I love the adventure games. I even liked Sonic Heroes, as corny as it was. I started to sour on the series during Shadow the Hedgehog. It's not terrible, but it felt so weird, trying to be more edgy and mature. Once the games jumped to the next generation, I did not. I stopped, having never played Sonic 2006 or any of the Wii games. Probably because I didn't own a PS3 until last Christmas. I did play Sonic Unleashed and really enjoyed it on the PlayStation 2. I still enjoyed most of the Sonic games though. And although I may have never played some of these games, I did do my research listening to all the soundtracks of the games I did not play. And besides, this is my list, so if you have the time to go through 100 Sonic songs, yours may differ, since music taste is subjective after all. Well, enough about me. In the next installment, we'll count down 100 through 91.
It's red and brown, probably very hot.